What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather responds to Errol Spence's claims that he would beat him in his prime, and this is what Floyd Mayweather had to say. He said that he can appreciate Errol Spence saying what he said. It shows that he's confident in his ability, and he is a good fighter, possibly a potential great fighter. However, this is what he added. He said, Errol Spence needs to remember something, though. I mastered boxing inside and outside the ring. I didn't have to lose pounds on top of pounds on top of pounds to make weight, right? I didn't abuse my body, right? And I made sure my body was a temple and I stayed in excellent condition. Now, he didn't necessarily say that to Errol Spence, but come on. He talked in code a little bit. He was using a subliminal message by saying, hey, first of all, I didn't drink and abuse my body and get in a wreck and jeopardize my career, okay? I didn't get heavy on top, 180, 185 pounds and had to lose 40, 50 pounds, right? So I did it right. Floyd said that I did everything outside the ring that was a part of boxing I needed to do. I didn't change trainers. I kept the same trainers. Him, Roger, and his dad. Okay, so basically he did, but he really kept it in the family. Okay, so it's close to say he pretty much kept the same people throughout his whole career. You know what I mean? That's something that Canelo is following. Which is a good thing. You're showing loyalty in that way, and that's the good way you show loyalty in the sport. Especially when these guys are training you and they're making you better and better, and you're able to learn, and you're opening your mind up to new ideas so you can learn more of the sport, so they can help you in the ring progress as a fighter. But that's what he told Errol Spence, and he's absolutely right. Like I said, Floyd, you never heard of Floyd drinking or smoking or doing any kind of drugs like that. Now, when he says outside the ring, I did everything perfect, he didn't do everything perfect, okay? He had his own disputes. Again, his three things that I mentioned: pride, money, and women, okay? What happened with his recently deceased wife, God bless the dead, or child's mom, right? God bless the dead. He ended up going to jail over her. So he wasn't just squeaky clean. Okay, he didn't have to drink or smoke to get into some type of trouble, an altercation. So he's had his squabbles. Him and T.I., you remember that? Him and Tiny and all that mess that went on back in the day, and had a big riot that broke out between him and T.I. and all that stuff because, again, women issues. Okay, so it's true what he said about Errol Spence, but that didn't make Floyd perfect outside the ring. I got to keep it real. I got to keep it on both sides. You ain't heard of Errol Spence slapping nobody around, okay? We haven't heard of that, but I think Errol Spence just hung around the wrong crowd for a minute, and then had to kind of check himself, and that near-death experience got him back to where he needed to be. So that probably made him a better fighter, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure it's going to make him a better fighter. And I'm excited to see what Errol Spence is going to do at this point because, the moment he starts to come around and admit, like, dude, it was, I almost died. That was a calling from God telling me, hey, I need to get my shit together. It was real after that. I can respect that, okay? But Floyd saying that about Errol Spence, you have to also look in the mirror. But I do agree with Floyd, though. He didn't abuse his body like that. You know what I mean? But, I don't knock people because domestic violence is something personal. So I really don't like to talk about that as much, but I did have to bring it up to explain, like, dude, he was not a perfect guy. His body, yeah. And I know what he meant, meaning his body-wise, like, he took care of his body, but still, you have to be accountable for the things you do to other people as well. So anyway, that was Floyd's response to Errol Spence, claiming that he would beat him in his prime You know, to me, it sounded a little cocky, right? But I don't think he would have beat Floyd in his prime, for the record, because Floyd. Let me use Floyd's own words, okay? Errol Spence is a good fighter, a good pressure fighter. Kind of puts me in the mind of marvelous Marvin Hagler, right? Now, I will say this. There is nothing special about Errol Spence, just like Floyd said about Triple G. There's nothing special about Errol Spence. There's nothing to figure out. Okay, he has decent defense. He's a pressure fighter. He comes forward. The only thing I see that he could give Floyd problems with is working the body, but Floyd knows how to use the ring. You know, that Philly shell will protect that body to the most part, and he could, counter off the ropes if he gets him on the ropes, because that's the only time I see Errol Spence actually scoring. You know, he might throw a jab or whatever, you know what I mean, score off the jab if he decides to use the jab coming from the southpaw stance, but I don't see him beating Floyd. I see Floyd picking him apart. You know what I mean? So, like Floyd said, I don't see any special effects. You know, he's just straight up and down fighter, honestly. Right? That's what I see of Errol Spence. But a good pressure fighter, big, strong, powerful welterweight. You know, good chin. But beating a prime Floyd, no, I doubt that. So, that's my counterpunch on that anyway. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Floyd's response. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunching. Peace.